All right, Duke, are we recording now? Is that what I just did? Oh, Duke might be gone. All right, I guess mute your mics for right now. If you have a pen and paper, this would be a good time to get that out unless you're driving down the road, then maybe don't do that, Taylor. But let's get started. Today, we're going to talk about mindset. Can everybody see my screen that I shared? We're on this orange screen, the right mindset for success. Taylor, mute your mic. People are saying they can hear your car. All right, the right mindset for success. So what is mindset? Let's get a little definition here. Mindset is a mental attitude or a person's way of thinking. An attitude and a person's way of thinking. And in real estate, our mindset directly affects our daily decisions, which greatly affects our success or lack of. Would you agree with that statement? So mindset is very, very important. So important that I made this nice little diagram for you today on mindset that I hope will help kind of get you started into thinking about mindset. So here it is. Mindset circle, mindset formula, whatever you want to call it. If you start on the top right where it says thoughts, thoughts that we have then turn into feelings. Feelings then create action, and then actions create results. And then guess what? Depending on the results you get, those create thoughts, which create feelings, which lead to actions, which lead to results. And then guess what? Those results lead to thoughts, and it just keeps going and going and going. And why is this important? Because in business, we get rejected a lot, especially in this business, right? We get rejected quite a bit. We fail sometimes. We make mistakes. I mean, we could have the right mindset. We could wake up, have a great morning routine, have our prayer time, devotion, coffee, baby's not crying, spouse is at work, it's quiet, you're focused, you're clear, the sun's shining, it's warm outside, you got a good mindset, you got good mental attitude, good ways of thinking, but then you get rejected. Then you fail. Then someone cancels the appointment. Then something happens on the phone, and the roller coaster begins. And the bad thoughts creep in, and the feelings start to turn into actions, and the actions into results. And so then our right mindset by the end of the circle turns into wrong results, and then those wrong results then lead us to a negative mindset, which then creates negative thoughts, bad feelings, wrong actions, and worse results. Is this making sense? Mindset is very important because it totally leads to thoughts, feelings, actions, and the results that we end up getting. Right in between our results and our thoughts is mindset. So if you don't like the results you're getting, and you know you got to think differently to change your attitude and your way of thinking, it's going to take mindset to change that circle in a positive direction, because that circle can be going up or that circle can be going down in a downward spiral, but the circle keeps going. It's the circle of life. It's thoughts, feelings, actions, results, thoughts, feelings, actions, results. That's life. You can't stop that circle, but what direction that circle goes, up or down, is dependent on your mindset. Can you picture yourself living your dream? Can you picture yourself on that beach with your family, retired, relaxing, enjoying life? Can you picture your life with just so much money that you're just throwing it around like this guy? Can you picture your life where you've accomplished this huge goal and you're standing on top of a mountain? Can you picture your success? Can you picture living your dream. And it's going to take the right mindset. It's going to take the right mindset to have that kind of success. So what does the right mindset mean? According to Carol Dweck, who wrote this great famous book, you might have heard of it. We're going to talk about it. It's called Mindset. According to her, your mindset can predict your success in life. It's an internal voice that keeps you down or lifts you up. An internal voice that keeps you down or that lifts you up. Her studies show, this is her book, this is what she's talked about, that there's two categories of mindset. One is a fixed mindset that defines all of your abilities as innate, and you are born with all the abilities you will need in life. Those with a fixed mindset often feel like failures happen because something is lacking within themselves. That's a fixed mindset. On the other hand, people with a growth mindset feel that they can learn anything or acquire any ability if they put in enough effort. These people don't let setbacks stop them. That's a growth mindset. A fixed mindset comes from the belief that your qualities are carved in stone. Who you are is who you are, period. Characteristics such as intelligence, personality, and creativity are fixed traits rather than something that can be developed. A growth mindset comes from the belief that your basic qualities are things that you can cultivate through effort. Yes, people differ greatly in aptitude, talent, interest, or temperaments, but everyone can change and grow through application and experience. Fixed versus growth. Fixed versus growth. So here's a little illustration. It might be hard to see on your phone, but here's a fixed versus a growth mindset. A fixed mindset leads to a desire to look smart and therefore a tendency to avoid challenges, give up easily, see effort as fruitless or worse, ignore useful negative feedback, and feel threatened by the success of others. As a result, they may plateau early and achieve less than their full potential. All this confirms a deterministic view of the world. A growth mindset, on the other hand, leads to a desire to learn and therefore a tendency to embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, see effort as the path to mastery, learn from criticism, find lessons and inspiration in the success of others. As a result, they reach ever higher levels of achievement that gives them a greater sense of free will. Growth mindset is the right mindset for success. It's the right mindset for success. I hope all this is making sense. The difference between fixed mindset and growth mindset, because we all have both of them and we go back and forth, but it's growth mindset that we need to be moving towards and adapting if we want to have the right mindset for success. Don't let your rejection, your setbacks, your mistakes or failures stop you. So in real estate, that's what we're in. We're talking about the success, the right mindset for success. As for realtors, there's certain skills in real estate. Here's just a handful of them, but there's a lot more, obviously, skills that we as realtors need. So here's some real estate skills. You got to be knowledgeable of the market, of the homes, of your profession, of different styles, different things, different features, knowledgeable. You got to have good communication skills, right? We've talked about that. You got to have good time management skills. We've talked about that. You got to have good organization skills, right? You got to have your office organized. You got to have your database organized. You got to have your life organized. You got to have good presentation skills when you're at a buyer consultation. You got to be able to present. When you're at a listing appointment, you got to be able to present. And you got to have some negotiation skills, right? So you can get your client the best deal, the best terms for them, their situation, their family. So here's just a handful of skills that you need, but there's one skill more important than all these others, and that's mindset. And so I want you to start thinking of mindset as a skill, not just some term that you've heard and some guru talked about mindset and you've seen videos and motivational speakers talk about mindset. Think of it as a skill, just like the other skills. And if it's a skill, that means it can be developed. If it's a skill, that means it can be worked on and you can get better at it. Mindset is a skill. Without the right mindset, without a growth mindset, we will always struggle. We'll find it hard to reach our full potential and have success in any of the other skills. It all starts with mindset. You can't be a good communicator without the right mindset. You can't be good at time management or organization or preparation or presentation without the right mindset. So what does it take to have the right or the growth mindset? That's the $1 million question. What does it take to have the right mindset? Here's a few ways. Here are some ways to have a growth mindset. I would take a picture of this or jot some down that resonate with you. These are ways that you can develop your skill, your mindset skill towards a growth mindset and away from a fixed mindset. Here we go. Acknowledge and embrace imperfections. You got to embrace them. You can't just think this is the way it is. This is the way I am. This is who I am. These are my things. I can only do this. Acknowledge and embrace the imperfections. Another one, view challenges as opportunities. They're opportunities. The challenges are not there to defeat you and to make you feel a certain way about yourself and to define who you are as a person. They're opportunities to grow, to learn. Replace the word failing with the word learning. Get the word failing out of your vocabulary. We're not failing, we're learning. You make a mistake on a contract, you write the wrong thing. You tell a client the wrong thing. You fail, you don't get the appointment. You fail and you don't get them what you promised you would get them. It doesn't close on time. Whatever it is, it's learning, right? You're learning from those mistakes. You're learning from those setbacks. That's growth mindset. Stop seeking approval. Fixed mindset people, they have to have approval. They have to be approved because they have to validate why they are the way they are, who they are, if they're successful or failing. It's cut and dry. It's fixed. Stop seeking approval. Value the process over the end result. This is a big one. Because at the end of the day, you might think, I didn't accomplish anything today. Everything I did got messed up. This didn't work out. He didn't sign the contract. They didn't do what they said they were going to do. Nothing seemed to work out today. The end result might not look good, but it's the process. You got to value the process because in developing a growth mindset and developing yourself, you are growing. You got to enjoy the process, not just the end result, because you'll never get to that desired end result if you don't learn to value the process that it takes to get you there. I hope somebody got that. The process. Life is a process. There's certain things you have to go through. You can't skip certain steps, right? Value the process. Celebrate growth with others. See, fixed people get jealous when others succeed. If that's you, if you usually kind of get envious or jealous when others succeed and you think, why is he always making it? Why is she always selling houses? Why this? Why that? How come I can't? Why am I not successful like them? That's a fixed mindset. It's okay. We're trying to work towards helping you get a growth mindset. So one step is to celebrate growth with others. Celebrate others' victories. Another one, place effort before talent. Place effort before talent. This is the problem. This is something me and Jessica trying to work on with our son. If you tell your children, for example, good job, you did a good job on that test, you got an A, they think they're smart today. But what happens tomorrow when they get a C or a D or an F? Guess what? They think they're a failure. And you're not telling them good job then. So what makes one day good and another day not so good? Same person, same skill set, same mind, same teacher, same class, different results. We have to place effort before talent. Good job working hard. I love your hard work. You're learning so much. You're growing so much. The effort. You got to focus on the effort, not the talent, because you can set yourself up for failure if you're always focusing on the talent instead of the effort. Another one, learn from other people's mistakes. Well, we got a lot of that to look around and see, right? A lot of people are making mistakes, and you don't just learn from people's success. You also can learn from people's mistakes. If you have a growth mindset, you'll start to see people's mistakes as learning examples, learning possibilities for you. Don't just follow the people that are successful. Follow the people that make mistakes, because both are valuable to learn which direction to go and how to grow. And the last one, take ownership over your attitude. Talking about mindset, we're talking about a mental attitude, a way of thinking. Take ownership of your attitude. It's your attitude. You can change your attitude. You can have a growth mindset and change your way of thinking and your attitude. You don't have to have a fixed mindset where you have no control over your attitude, where you are a certain way with a certain set of skills, with a certain set of talents, and that's all you got and that's all you'll ever be. That's a fixed mindset. And we're trying to get away from the fixed mindset to go into the growth mindset, and it takes ownership of your attitude to get there. So all these things are how we can have a growth mindset. But I'm going to wrap all these things up in 2 words, famous little phrase that I like to talk about and I'm into a lot, and that is personal development. Personal development. Here's a fancy definition of personal development for you. It says covers activities that improve awareness and identity, develop talents and potential, build human capital and facilitate employability, enhance the quality of life, and contribute to the realization of dreams and aspirations. Personal development. And then a little tip that I put down there, for things to change for you, you've got to change. You've got to change. I've become kind of obsessed with this word, personal development. My wife would definitely say it's a very strong passion of mine. I'm very passionate about personal development, almost to a fault. And here's the reason why. Because years ago, I heard Jim Rohn say something that changed his life, that his mentor, Earl Shelf, told him when he was 25, broke. And by 31, he was a millionaire in 6 years. And it was pretty much accredited to this one quote right here. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. This quote changed my life. Because I was great at working hard on my job. I was a hard worker. I'm still a hard worker. I love to work. I'll work 7 days a week. It doesn't matter. I love to work. I was good at working on my job. I liked to work. I liked it. And I excelled at all my jobs and moved up the whole ladder and moved up into these positions because I like to work on the job, because I thought in order to make more money, I had to work harder on my job, right? I had to do better, impress the boss, get a raise, get a promotion. I had to work harder on my job. You know, the minimum wage, I don't even know what the minimum wage is now, but the minimum wage doesn't really matter how much it is unless you plan to stay there, right? The minimum wage in the country is irrelevant unless that's where you plan to stay for the rest of your life. But if you have a growth mindset, if you're working on your personal development, if you plan on moving up the ladder, it doesn't matter where you start, right? Because you can start at $2 an hour, and with the right skills, you can get up to $20, $30, $40 an hour in no time. Am I making sense? With the right mindset, it doesn't matter where you start. But I remember when minimum wage went up to $5.15. Shows my age. $5.15 an hour. I thought, man, that's good money. Good money. And you know what? If you could work hard with that $5.15 job, if you took out the trash and you showed up a little early and you stayed a little late and you did some extra cleaning, you could get up to $6 an hour. $6 an hour. I thought, this is good money. And so what happens is you just keep working harder and harder, and they see your value and they start to pay you more. And maybe you're up to $6.50, maybe you're up to $7. Because see, you get paid on how valuable you are, not on the hours you work. If we got paid based off the hours we work, we could all get paid for just sitting here all day and doing nothing. You could just show up at a job and just sit in the break room and still get paid, but you don't get paid for your time. You get paid for your value. It's what you do with the time that matters, not the time. So we're going to do a little exercise. If you have pen and paper and you want to participate, here's the exercise, because I want you to understand how valuable you are. So here's a little exercise. How valuable are you? We're going to take your pay and divide it by your hours, right? Basic skills right here. How much are you worth? What is your pay per hour? So if you would like to participate, raise your hand and you can grab a pen and paper. And this is what I need you to do. Write down how much money did you make last year in real estate? Or if you're just starting, you didn't get a full year in real estate, what's your expected income this year? What's your income, expected income? Rachel, do you have a question?
Yeah, this is so hard.
Just start with one thing at a time.
Okay. I'm like, how many hours?
You're only doing the first part.
Okay.
What's your expected income? Or just estimate. Could be 50,000, could be 75, could be 84, could be 100. Just write that number down. Now, how many hours a day do you work on income generating activities? Key part, income generating activities. That doesn't mean checking emails. That doesn't mean scrolling Facebook. That doesn't mean watching Netflix. That doesn't mean driving to appointments. That means prospecting, actual appointment times, following up with leads, calling people, sending emails, making sure the deal's going through. How many actual hours a day on average do you work on income generating activities? Write that down. Now, and be honest, this is between you and God, so no lying, no cheating. How many days a week do you work? Is it 7, 6, 5, 4? How many days a week do you work? Now, how many weeks a year do you work? And before you say 52 weeks in a year, you know as well as I do, you're not working 52 weeks out of the year. You might take a week off for vacation. You might take a week off around the holidays. You might take another week off mid-year. Like, be honest, how many, maybe go on the low end, how many actual weeks in a year do you work? Or are you planning to work this year? Are you planning to take a few vacations? Okay, so we have all these numbers. And now take your hours per day, multiply that times how many days in a week you work, and then multiply that by how many weeks in a year that you're going to work. That will equal your golden or your total hours per year. So you have that number. Now I want you to take your pay, that first one we answered, divide that by those total hours, and you just found out how much you're worth. So just to give you an example, here's mine. So right now I'm averaging like 2 deals a month, which around $7,000 to $8,000 a month. We'll say low end $7,000 a month, right? 2 deals a month, $7,000 a month equals $84,000 a year. I work about 6 hours a day. I work about 6 days a week. I'm going to plan on working at least 48 weeks this year. I'd like to take 4 weeks off if I can. So 6 times 6 times 48 is 1,728 hours that I'm going to work this year. So 84,000 divided by 1,728 hours means I'm worth $48.61 an hour. That's good news. $48 is what I'm worth an hour right now, based off my expected outcome this year. That was only, 15, 20 years ago where I was excited to make $10 an hour. I remember after working the little $5, $6 jobs, I remember moving up into a management position and I made $11.75 an hour. And I thought, oh my gosh, what can I do with $11.75 an hour? And then I actually made it up to $13 an hour. And I thought, wow, what a life. This is a dream. $13 an hour. And then I remember getting a job where I made almost $20 an hour. And I thought, I'm like $1 million. I'm like a millionaire, right? $20 an hour. Are you kidding me? Somebody's going to pay me $20 an hour? But this year, the way I'm headed, I'm on track to make $48.61 an hour. Now here's the catch. I got to work those hours, because what happens if I don't work an hour? I lose $48.61, right? So now you got to start to think about your time as your worth. And if you take a break, if you skip an hour, if you skip a day, if you take a day off, you're losing your hourly rate. So what would $48.61 a day mean? If I work 6 hours a day and I'm going to make around $48.61 an hour, that would be $291.66 a day. Every day I commit to working my 6 hours in real estate, I will make $291.66. That might make you think about taking a day off. $291 is what you could make, which means if you don't work a day because you want to go golfing or you want to go get your hair done or you want to catch up on your Netflix sitcoms and binge watch Netflix all day, not only do you not make $291.66, you actually lose $291.66. You've got to know your worth so you can make better decisions about what you should say yes to. Because in this time that we're in right now, with the distractions and all the noise and everything going on and everybody trying to, stay motivated and stay productive and people, dealing with different things are coming across. There's going to be other opportunities, other things that you might want to spend your time doing. There's going to be other things that you might consider doing today instead of making your calls and doing your job as a realtor. But if you know your worth, it can help you make better decisions about what you should say yes to. So we're about done. We're wrapping this thing up, but let me ask you a major question. Can you become more valuable? And the answer is yes. So, and also, can you increase your income? And the answer is yes. Can you make more than $48 an hour? Is there people in our industry that are making more than $48 an hour? The answer is yes. There's always somebody that's making less than you, and there's always somebody that's making more than you. Does it mean that they have more time in the day to make more money? No. They have the same amount of time you have. We don't get paid off our time. We get paid off our value. You become more valuable, you make more money. Period. We can't buy more time. We can't create more time. We can only become more valuable. And to do that, it takes personal development. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. I want you to really think about that phrase. Maybe you got to write it down and really meditate over it, because it is a little tricky to understand. Because you would think, to make more money, I need to work more on my job. But there's only so far you can go with learning how to talk to somebody. There's only so far you can go with memorizing your script. There's only so far you can go with developing the greatest listing presentation that anyone has ever seen. There's only so far you can go with your negotiation skills, right? You can be the best and have the best skills in all those areas. But without the right mindset, without working on yourself, all those skills are only going to get you so far. Learn to work harder on yourself. Not in replace of working on your job. Work hard on your job, but work harder on you. Be a better you. The right mindset for success. Smart people succeed, says the fixed mindset. Smart people succeed. Therefore, if you succeed, you're a smart person. Therefore, pick the easier problem so success is more likely, and you validate your smartness. Pick a hard problem and you may fail, revealing your stupidity. People can get smarter, says the growth mindset, and do so by stretching themselves and taking on challenges. Therefore, pick the hard problem. Who cares if you fail? That's the difference. This has been the right mindset for success. The right mindset for success. Any questions? Anybody have any comments on that? Anything you want to say?
That was great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like your mindset has everything to do with everything. Like, honestly, no matter what you're doing, whether it's real estate or, like you said, like raising your kids or how you're looking at yard work that you have to do. Like, your mindset is everything. If you have a poor mindset, you're going to be like, well, I don't want to do this. You know?
Yep. That's right. Well, that's what I have for today. Any other comments or questions before we wrap this up?
Nice job, Ben. Don't forget to stop the recording when you're done.
Oh, yeah. Good
Yeah,
point.
that
Yeah,
was awesome,
good.
man.
Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Yep.
Ben, can
Yes.
you tell us how your mindset has evolved since you got your real estate license?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So my mindset the reason I got my real estate license is probably because my mindset changed. Because I always had this limiting belief that I was a certain way. You know, for a long time, I had a belief that I was a drug addict, probably because I use drugs every day, right? And so I thought this is all I'm ever going to be, because I dealt with failure, I dealt with rejection, I dealt with things not going my way. And so you begin to accept that mindset of, this is just who I am. I struggle. I got issues. I get rejected. I don't have a lot of friends. Not too many people like me. And so that mindset would really keep you down and keep you bound. And so it was really when I started looking into personal development and realized that there's a bigger world out there. The easiest way, I guess, to describe it is I had a four-wall mentality. I would refer to it as like a sandbox mentality or a prison jail cell mentality, to where I only thought I could ever be what's in this box. It's kind of like the analogy if you were to take a goldfish that's swimming in a little bowl out of his bowl and put him in a bathtub to clean his bowl. They say that the goldfish would keep swimming in little circles because that's all the goldfish knows is his little four walls of his goldfish bowl, right? He doesn't understand that now that you put him in a different environment that he has all this room to grow. He's fixed to think that he just has these four walls of this goldfish bowl, right? And so what happens was I had that mentality, which landed me in facilities and prisons of four walls, because I had a mentality that if I stay in my little four walls, my little room where it's safe, there's less risk, there's less chance for me to fail, I can succeed in this little area. I can succeed in a jail cell because I can control it and I know how it works. There's systems in place. There's a procedure that takes place. There's a time you get up. There's a time you get your meal. Everything is kind of dictated and it's confined to this small little area that I can manage. What happens when you open up those walls and you have this big world to see and you're looking around and you're like, what do I do? Wait, now you got to grow, right? Now you got to adapt. Now you got to learn a new set of skills. And so real estate was like a new set of skills for me. And it made me realize, wow, I can control my future and my destiny based off how valuable and how much I can help people with that value. There's no ceiling anymore, right? When I was in the jail cell, when I was working at McDonald's, when I was in all these jobs, corporate jobs, there was a ceiling and I would go all the way to the top of the ceiling and be a manager, be a supervisor, and get the benefits and get the $13 an hour. But that was probably it, right? I couldn't really go much higher than that. But what I love about real estate is there is no ceiling. And so the mindset automatically becomes a growth mindset. I don't know if I'm answering your question or if I'm just rambling on about another topic, but I would say that once I got into real estate, it changed my thinking and it opened up my eyes to a whole new world of possibilities based off a right mindset for success.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Good question. Anybody else? All right.
Thanks for inspiring us today.
Yeah, well, hopefully you got some inspiration, some value out of that.
Yeah.
I really think in these times, mindset is very important. I think if you're not careful, you can easily start spiraling down based off your mindset. You really got to stay sharp. You really got to keep your mindset intact because it really does dictate your thoughts, which will eventually lead to results. Negative thoughts lead to negative results. Positive thoughts lead to positive results. So thanks for joining me today on this training. And we'll see you next week, I guess.
All right, bye.